Court will now reconvene. I assume both sides are ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor. I can understand the defense acting like this. However, why do you also seem distraught, Mr. Edgeworth?
It's nothing, Your Honor. What's wrong with Edgeworth? Looks like something unexpected just happened to him.
Now then, Miss Edgeworth, if you could please tell the court the results of the handwriting analysis on this impacted suicide note.
Yes, Your Honor. Unfortunately, we have discovered that the suicide note is a forgery. What?
What do you mean, Miss Edgeworth?
This note was not written by Miss Impact herself. It is a fake.
Order! Miss Edgeworth, would you care to explain what is going on? If this was not written by Miss Impacts, then who wrote it?
We would need more time to do more detailed analysis, however. It appears that the handwriting matches that of the victim, Mr. Juan Corrida. Mr. Corrida? Wow. Looks like Miss Impacts never left a suicide note after all. She never wrote anything about En Garde. However, Your Honor, even though this suicide note is indeed a fake, Mr. En Garde could not have known that, and so that facts remain unchanged. Acting under the assumption that it was real, he had plotted to possess it.
That does sound very plausible.
This theory that En Garde had no idea that the suicide note was fake, something seems a little wrong with it. The defense believes that the theory the prosecution has stated contradicts testimony. If everything the prosecution has proven up to this point is true, then it's impossible for Mr. En Garde to not have known it was a fake. Because he planted the camera.
What is this little item called again?
A video camera, Your Honor. Well, a very small one, but...
Oh, that's right, a camera. You kids and your fancy toys nowadays.
Mr. Edgeworth, earlier you claimed that Mr. En Garde knew of the existence of this note because he was spying on the victim. Isn't that right?
But
that were true. Then this means Mr. En Garde would have known that the victim had forged the note.
So then, the defendant knew this suicide note is a fake. If that's true, then the situation has certainly changed into a very dramatic way.
Exactly, Your Honor. Prosecution's theory as to what Mr. En Garde's motive for murder was, it has suddenly disappeared into thin air. But, Your Honor, it's not as Mr. En Garde monitored Mr. Corrida 24 hours a day. Perhaps the victim wrote the note in a place Mr. En Garde didn't know of. Well, right back at you, Miss Edgeworth. Why don't you show us some proof that the victim made the forgery at an unknown place?
Order! Miss Edgeworth. It looks like this time it is you who has dug his own grave. As I figured. Huh? As you figured? As I figured, it came down to this after all. Miss Edgeworth, you're not making any sense.
When I heard the results of the handwriting analysis, I thought this might happen. Question is, what next? What next? If the prosecution can't prove Mr. En Garde's motive through the evidence, then we must prove it from another angle.
Well, I agree with you there.
Your Honor, the prosecution would like to call a witness to the stand at this time.
Oh, well, that's fine.
However, this witness is a little unusual. Edgeworth stuttering? This is not like him at all.
Unusual? Well, what sort of witness is this person, Mr. Edgeworth?
This witness is one who is perfectly fit to answer once and for all the question of who was it that hired Shelly de Killer to commit murder. That's impossible. No such person exists who can answer that question with such certainty.
Yes, Mr. Edgeworth. Who is this witness?
It's
Yes, go on. Who is it?
The man himself, Mr. Shelly de Killer.
Oh, Mr. de Killer. Wait! Shelly de Killer? You mean, the killer? The assassin?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is coming here to the witness stand?
Well, yes, in a manner of speaking. I recognize that this is a very unusual circumstance, so I ask for your permission.
Well, Mr. Wright,
Yes?
is this alright with you?
Do I have a choice here? I can't really do much else to drag this trial out. The defense has no objections, Your Honor.
I wonder if it really is alright to do this.
Very well then, the prosecution calls its witness to the stand. Edgeworth, is there no other way left to us? Now then, witness, your name and your occupation, please.
Very good, sir. My name is Shelly de Killer, and I am a professional assassin. I say! What is going on here?
Your Honor?
How can you remain so calm? And what is the meaning of this two-way radio?
Actually, Your Honor, it was delivered to me just now, and it came with a condition. As long as we do not trace its source, Mr. de Killer would testify to this court. So this must be what that urgent phone call he got earlier was about.
Oh no, this will not do. I cannot allow this in my court. First of all, we can't even be sure this is really Mr. de Killer himself.
Witness, please present some sort of proof that you are, in fact, Shelly de Killer.
I understand. Please wait a second.
I'm so hungry. Maya! Maya!
A voice, Mr. Wright. Can you confirm anything from this?
The defense has no objections to this person. We are satisfied that this man is indeed Shelly de Killer.
It looks like we have run into yet another unexpected turn of events. Well, it doesn't seem like we have too many choices under these circumstances, so...
Now then, witness, there's one thing I would like to confirm before we speak of anything else.
And what would that be?
At the request of a client, you killed Mr. Juan Corrida, is this correct?
It is as you say. I did indeed kill Mr. Corrida.
Go! Now that we have answered that, let's move on to the name of your client.
Very well. This is all just a bad dream. Yes, that's it. A bad dream.
Shelly de Killer. What is he gonna say?
There's something I must first state. To an assassin, nothing is more important than the task between a client and himself. And that is the reason I am here today on this witness stand. It is my wish that you grasp this concept before I give the name of my client. Mr. de Killer seems to be a very clever man. I must say he seems to be mocking us.
While he may appear to be our enemy, Your Honor, Mr. de Killer is only stating the truth. He is no hypocrite. He has always stood by this one belief.
You mean about this trust between his clients and himself thing? It seems to me, it seems to be a level of trust beyond what people like me can comprehend. Well, Mr. Wright, are you ready to cross-examine the witness?
Yes, Your Honor. There's no way to know what's coming next, so stay cool and collected, Phoenix.
Okay. I'll try. There is something I must first state.
We can hear anything you have to say later. Can you please just tell us your clients?
I don't think you understand your place, Mr. Attorney. I said this is something I must first state. Do you know what the word first means?
Sorry, go on.
Well, it appears there's one witness you can't badger, Mr. Wright.
That's only because you don't know about my situation.
To an assassin, nothing is more important than the trust between a client and himself.
A trust between you and your client.
I provide my services in a fast and efficient manner. In exchange, I trust that my clients are discreet about me and my identity. If too many people know my face, you'd be quite troublesome. And that is why you're testifying in this manner? This is the first time one of my clients has ever been accused of murder. I must preserve the killer name so my clients can trust me.
But couldn't someone stab you in the back and break your trust?
It has never happened before, but if it ever did...
Yes?
That person wouldn't be my client for very long. They would certainly... That's enough! Please, no more. Very well, it was only hypothetical anyway. And that is the reason I'm here today on this witness stand.
That seems a little strange to me. I mean, you're about to tell us the name of your client. I would think that this would be very bad for them.
It doesn't matter to me. This client has already broken the rules and acted outside of their prescribed rule. The rule? This person tried to implicate another of the crime in order to save themselves. And this is a trespass that cannot be forgiven. You! Who gave you the right to be so high and mighty? To the gentleman who spoke just now, excuse me, but would you care to die? Ah, no, I didn't say anything.
The judge had better watch himself.
It is my wish that you grasp this concept before I give the name of my client.
We understand, so please tell us the name of your client.
I'm afraid I cannot do that. I still have a few things I want to say before I do.
That egomaniacal?
It's not good for your health to be so aggravated. You won't live very long if you let everything bother you.
Somehow, that coming from an assassin makes it less than comforting. I don't really care about all this extra fluff. Just tell us the name already. Patience, try to calm down a little. It's important to try to understand his mindset. He seems very steadfast and close, so you're gonna have to work to get him talk. Not his therapist, you know. Jeez.
The trust between you and your client? I provide my services in a fast and efficient manner. In exchange, I trust that my clients are discreet about me and my identity. These are the roles and duties to an assassin and his client are to carry out.
I'm sorry, but I was wondering about something you just said. You said that your client had already broken the rules?
A person who frames another is the worst kind of human.
And that's why you feel you can betray this person?
I have no trust or relation with a client who can't understand their assigned role.
Just my luck. An assassin with a conscience. Who would have thunk?
Now then, everyone, do you think you can understand my logic?
This case just keeps getting better and better.
If you can't, then I'm afraid we can't proceed.
Everyone understands your point, I think. Really.
In that case, I believe I'm prepared to disclose the information you seek.
You have made it crystal clear that you value trust over all else. I believe you are ready. We are ready.
Excellent. And that is the reason I am here today on this witness stand.
That seems a little strange to me. I mean, you're about to tell us the name of your client. I would think that this would be very bad for them.
It doesn't matter to me. This client is already... Oh, okay. The rule?
Oh, no. Okay. Oh, here we go. Right?
But... What is it?
I can't bring myself to ask client's name. If you can't ask it, Mr. Ryan, then I will. Witness, what is the name of your client who requested the murder of Mr. Juan Corrida?
That person's name is... Adrian Andrews. Witness?
That's not who you told me it was earlier.
But, pray tell, what are you talking about, Mr. Prosecutor? I should think I know my own client, and it is Adrian Andrews.
What?
This can't be. On the phone earlier.
What's going on here? My guess is that Mr. de Killer just stabbed Mr. Edgeworth in the back. Stabbed Edgeworth in the back? I'm sure in order to get an audience with this court, Mr. de Killer told him a different name. Marangard, perhaps? I knew it.
This is outrageous. I was deceived. This witness is telling a very serious lie. But you're the one who summoned this witness? Grrr! Yeah, you. Shelly de Killer. My testimony is the truth. The defendant at the moment is not on guard. Am I correct? All I wish to do is help procure his acquittal.
Wow. All of a sudden, it feels like we can actually win this. Yeah.
The prosecution has failed to provide a motive and has instead provided the suicide note, which is a forgery created by the victim. Furthermore, there is a possibility the defendant himself knew was a fake. But most definitive of all, we have heard from the assassin himself the name of his client. Mr. de Killer's client who requested the murder was not the defendant at all. No. With all this evidence, it is obvious to me that this means that Mr. Madangard is innocent. I seem to have caused you a bit of confusion. Please continue your discussion and call me when you have reached a verdict. Bailiff, please bring Mr. Andrews in immediately.
What now? With the way this is going, Angar will be found innocent. This may be our last chance to save Maya. Yeah, but Edgeworth is right. The killer is lying. And Angar, my client, I know he's guilty. Can I live myself if I win this?
Who would have believed that the prosecution's own witness would absolve the defendant?
Your Honor, the prosecution requests permission to further question the witness. Shelly de Killer is certainly lying under oath. It wasn't me. Listen, everyone, please, that testimony just now, it was all one big lie. Miss Andrews, the suicide note may have been a fake, but that man, Matt, his reasons just died. And Juan's death, it was all because he got pulled into Matt's twisted world. That testimony just now, you have to believe me, it was a horrible, horrible lie.
But Mr. de Killer himself has testified he has named you as his client.
No, that's not true.
Also, there is quite a bit of evidence that points to you. The knife, the button, donning the nickel samurai costume.
Well, that's...
You even have the motive. We know that Mr. Impacts was a large part of your life. You wanted to follow her, and you wanted revenge against the two who hurt her. I would say you have plenty of reasons to want them both dead.
No. Mr. Wright? You know the truth. Tell them. Tell them the real story. Who the real killer is. Tell them. Please, help me. Yes, I know the truth.
Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor?
I believe we have reached the end of this trial. Therefore, I ask the defense for any final words or opinions.
But I have to decide. Do I take the not guilty verdict and save Maya? Or do I throw this chance away and wait for Gumshoe's new evidence? What am I supposed to do? Nope. Phoenix. I can't do it, Mia. I can't accept the not guilty. You are a lawyer. I know. But Managard is a killer. A murderer. I can't let him get away with this. I can't let someone else take the fall. If I let Miss Andrews be convicted, then I'm no better than on guard. Even though I don't want to admit it, I have to face the fact that it is because of Edgeworth that I know the real truth. He could have gotten on guard convicted so many times over, but he never took a single one of those chances. If I take this verdict right now, I'd be betraying his trust. His trust? I never thought about it until now. I trust him. Yes, you do.
Mr. Wright, your opinion, please.
The defense requests that we be allowed to further question Mr. de Killer.
Am I hearing you correctly, Mr. Wright?
Right?
But the witness has cleared your client through his testimony. Your job here is done.
I'm not done yet. To see through witnesses' lies and find the truth, that is my job, Your Honor. I am a lawyer. There's still more evidence to look at. And I'm sure that once those pieces arrive here in this very courtroom, a miracle will occur.
Very well, the trial will continue. Mr. Edgeworth, please re-establish connection with Mr. de Killer.
Right away, Your Honor.
Has a verdict been reached?
Before that, we would like to talk with you a little more.
About? All you needed from me was the name of my client. what else could you need me for?
Well, actually, we would like to hear everything you know about this case. That is how things are usually done.
What is he talking about? Usually done?
But what shall we have him testify about now?
Mr. de Killer, if you don't mind, please testify about your client in more detail.
You ego people and your visitors. Is there anyone that no one likes to go to court? As I have already stated quite a few times, Adrian Andrews is my kind. However, one thing I simply can't overlook is tampering with the scene of a crime. My kind didn't to frame another for a crime while pretending to be the first person to discover the body and enter the scene. Adrian Andrews already knew from the very beginning that Juan Corrida was dead. But even more appalling is the creation and planting of the knife and button. That act is what I was referring to when I said my client had broken the rules. This is a most unexpected turn of events for the 5th time now. However, this time everything has finally been revealed.
Just a second, Your Honor.
Yes, Miss Edgeworth?
We still have the cross-examination to do.
But you don't need to question testimony like this. Do you, Mr. Wright?
Your Honor, the defense will question the witness, as if I have a choice here.
Huh? Why? What this witness has said is nothing but beneficial to the defense's case. If he scrutinizes testimony, then
I'll expose the lies in that oh-so-beneficial testimony, I suppose.
I don't understand what's going on anymore.
That makes 2 of us.
As I have already stated quite a few times, Adrian Andrews is my client. However... But... What is it, Mr. Wright?
If I press him the wrong way, it might raise suspicions on his end. Or I have to do something to waste more time. Witness, about requesting a hit?
Yes?
How much is your fee?
But... I see you're always also a quite dark-hearted man, Mr. Attorney.
Huh?
If you would like to talk business, we can do so after the trial.
No, I'm not thinking of her.
Mr. Wright!
Yes?
You want to kill me! You want me dead, don't you?
What? Why would you think something like that, Your Honor?
Guilty! Mr. Phoenix Wright, you are hereby declared guilty!
Witness, let's continue. Why did you disclose the name of your client? They are your client, are they not?
One thing I simply cannot overlook is tampering with the scene of a crime.
I would think that most people wouldn't be able to overlook a person hiring another to kill.
But if I had a problem with such a thing, I wouldn't be very effective at my job.
Yeah. Well, a change in occupation might be good for you.
However, I will say this. Even though I am the one that does the deed, my clients are always the real guilty party.
That goes without saying, Mr. de Killer.
And their fate is to live with the knowledge of their guilt on their shoulders. However, my clients this time thought they could run away from their guilt. My client needed to frame another for the crime.
Are you talking about the button and the knife?
Yes, and my business card.
Oh, this card.
So as no one had to waste their time, including the police, I always make it a point to make things as easy as possible. You try to make things easy? My business card makes it very easy to identify who carried out the service.
He's pretty devoted to his work.
But to disregard everything, to go and stab the deceased with a knife, and even hide my card from sight, that is something I cannot overlook.
It's really hard to tell if he's being truthful or not without him being here.
While pretending to be the first person to discover the body and enter the scene.
So you say most clients wouldn't do such a thing?
That is correct. Usually most people try to create an alibi from themselves. If you should use my services, Mr. Attorney, I would suggest you plan for your alibi too.
No, I already told you, I have no intention of using your services, ever.
Why does he keep looking at me like I'm the one on trial here?
Adrian Andrews already knew from the very beginning that Juan Corrida was dead.
From the very beginning?
That is correct, from before my client visited the room. All of my clients know precisely what the situation is at all times.
I wonder if that's really true. That's odd.
But even more appalling is the creation and planting of the knife and button.
So why do you think your client did that?
What do you mean by why?
Well, fiddling around at the scene of a crime is pretty risky. Why would someone who requested a murder go to the crime scene anyway?
That is true. I assume it was probably done to frame Mr. Angard.
If that's the case, then why didn't the person just request that you do it?
Sadly, that is not possible.
Huh?
My job is to kill, that is all, and to leave my business card behind, naturally. The business card is so my clients may escape pain. To protect them is my duty. Even if they say it's for revenge, setting someone else up to take your fall. That act is what I was referring to when I said my client had broken the rules.
And that's all you have to testify?
Yes, and I pray that I will never be called to the stand again.
Again? As in you plan to continue?
I must, as I have yet to find a person to take my place and become the fourth successor. Actually, how would you reckon new life, Mr. Attorney?
Excuse me? No, I'm fine, really.
Are you really now?
I wonder what kind of man the judge thinks I am now. What are you gonna do now, Phoenix? All I can do now is expose the lies. That's true. However, you realize that will be very bad for our client, right?
I'm so confused.
But the one thing I know for sure is I can't let this trial end yet. Here we go. Come on, man. Easy. Easy. Mistakes. Rookie mistake. Thank you so much for taking the time to testify, Mr. De Killer.
What is the meaning of that attitude?
When Agent Andrews entered the victim's room, your client had no idea that Juan Corrida had been murdered.
But how do you know that?
From this wine glass, Your Honor.
The glass?
Mr. De Killer's supposed client thought Mr. Corrida had only fainted, which is why this glass of tomato juice was poured for the victim.
But isn't that just a part of Agent Andrews' calculated plan?
That is not possible, Your Honor. This glass bears the fingerprints of that person. Had this been planned, they would never have left their fingerprints behind.
I see your point, Mr. Edgeworth. What is your opinion?
Strangely enough, I had the same exact thought just now. Witness, how would you explain this strange phenomenon?
Isn't it a waste of time to ask about such a minor detail? It's not a very important point anyway, correct?
I'm afraid you are mistaken. If Adrian Andrews really is your client as you claim, then your client should have had knowledge of Mr. Corrida's death. If not, then that can only mean that Adrian Andrews was never your client at all.
How strange. Yes? Why is it that the attorney has yet to raise an objection at this absurd situation?
Phoenix, if the killer figures out what you're up to, we're in real trouble. Yeah, I know. Objection! Mr. Edgeworth, I'm surprised. You know you can't say things like that without any evidence. Sorry.
But, well, that was an awfully weak objection for the two of you.
Anyway, I am positive there was a contradiction in that testimony. The prosecution requests further testimony concerning when the request was taken.
Very well.
Right now, I have to buy us more time. While we wait for the items the killer left behind to get here. I just know that the very outcome of this trial lies with those items. I don't know how many there are.
This request came to me about a week ago. It was a request for my services on the night of the award ceremony. We met at a certain bar to discuss and finalize a few matters. That is what occurred. I trust my memory, and I believe I have made no mistakes. So you physically met your client, huh? That is correct. Meeting one's client is the first step to building trust, in my opinion. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. This request came to me, about a week ago.
1 week ago? Are you sure?
Yes, I am quite sure. I, of course, had my own preparations, and I was barely able to finish. When you request my services, Mr. Attorney, I hope you will keep that in mind.
Please, stop!
In any case, my client this time had a very specific date and time in mind.
Specific date and time?
It was a request for my services on the night of the award ceremony.
Did you ask why on that specific night?
No, I tried to fulfill all the conditions of my client's request. But as for why, I only had my suspicions.
Your suspicions, huh? Sure. So what are these suspicions you had? Why did your client request that night?
I'm sure it was always a bear.
The bear?
My client spoke of it. I'm sure there will be a bear-shaped figurine in Juan Corrida's room. I would like you to achieve that item for me.
You must be talking about this bear puzzle. Inside that figurine was a suicide note. Naturally, the victim brought it with him to his hotel room. He was planning to publicly disclose its contents at the press conference, after all.
That is correct. And if I had not done the job that night, I would not have known where that bear figurine was.
I see.
Well, Mr. Wright, was this one just now of any importance?
No. What the killer said sounds plausible, but in the end, it's just his conjecture. No, Your Honor, I don't think it's very important.
Well then, witness, please continue. We met at a certain bar to discuss and finalize a few matters.
So you physically met Adrian Andrews, right?
Of course I did.
What was that? What was with the brief pause? Witness, I would like for you to give us a few more details.
I always meet my clients as a matter of principle. I have never taken a request by telephone or mail.
And why is that?
That's because I value the trust between a client and myself above all else. It's the only way to establish that is to speak to the client while looking them in the eye. Well, Mr. Wright, was the testimony just now of any importance?
I think so, yeah. Give more details. Of course, it was very important, Your Honor. If Mr. de Killer had met his client before the murder, then it's unlikely he's mistaken.
So you're saying that this client really was Adrian Andrews?
I guess so.
You see, it is just as I said.
I'm so lost. Who the heck am I supposed to be helping here? Calm down, Phoenix. Think carefully and relax.
Now then, the witness, please continue. That is what occurred, and I trust my memory. I believe I have made no mistakes.
So your client was Adrian Andrews?
That is correct.
Well, he says the two of them met, but if they did, then there shouldn't be anything wrong with the killer's testimony. Well, there doesn't seem to be anything strange this time around. You have to draw more information from him, but you can't draw his suspicion. If you can do that, you should be able to find a flaw in his testimony somewhere. Talk about a delicate balance. Fuck. Okay. Why he meets his clients is not important, and that wasn't the point. Witness, please Witness, please stop sidestepping my questions.
What do you mean by that?
My question was, did you really meet Adrian Andrews in person?
I have already told you, Mr. Wright, I did. It was only through talking with him face to face that I began to trust him. That's when I thought I can trust this person as a kind. It's true what they say about talking face to face. Well, Mr. Wright, what's the testimony just now of any importance? Here we go.
If I heard what I think I heard just now, then I think I've got him. Your Honor, I believe the testimony just now was of the utmost importance.
How? Really?
If that's the case, the witness, please include the statement just now in your testimony. Very well.
From the moment I saw him, I thought I can trust this person as a client.
But as we now know, that was not how it turned out, correct?
What do you mean?
Adrian Andrews turned out to be a client who can stick to the rules, right?
Well, yes. I suppose you are correct.
So I'd like to check one last time. Are you sure your testimony is accurate?
That is what occurred. I trust my memory and I believe I have made no mistakes.
Oh yeah?
Oh, shit.
Sorry. Here we go. Okay. Yeah, I was a little bit excited. I was so excited. Gotcha. I would like to go over this one more time. You met Adrian Andrews at a bar and took the request at that time?
Yes, that is correct.
And that's when you thought he was trustworthy?
How many times must I repeat myself? Yes, that is correct.
I'm sorry, but that is an impossible tale.
What?
Shelly de Killer. You have never met the real Adrian Andrews.
Why would you say that?
Because you made one very big slip up. About her.
So what is the issue? What did you just say just now? About her?
If you had ever met Adrian Andrews in person, one look would have told you that she is a woman.
Oh, sucker. Order in the court. Mr. Wright, what is the meaning of this?
This witness testified to the following, that he always meets face to face with his clients when taking their requests.
But he's never met Adrian Andrews in person.
Yes, Your Honor, that is exactly the point. That means Mr. de Killer's client could not have been Mr. Adrian Andrews.
Mon Dieu. Mr. Edgeworth, I understand your logic on this one. However, why would the assassin make such a basic mistake?
I believe it has to do with her name, Your Honor.
Her name?
Yes, Adrian Andrews is, without a doubt, a very androgynous name.
Yes, I see.
Unluckily for Mr. de Killer, the entire time he was on the stand, no one has stated Adrian Andrews' gender. And so, he simply picked the wrong gender to go with. A 50-50 chance, Your Honor, and luckily he didn't hear her voice as well.
What? What is going on? Shelly de Killer, this court demands an explanation. I think somehow I must have mixed up this client with another.
So does that mean you remember something different now?
Yes, of course. This, if you would allow me to testify once more.
Arg, I know he's just going to spit out more lies.
Very well, but this time, please give us the truth, and nothing but the truth. Be a good little assassin and tell us the truth, okay? Of course, Your Honor. Yes, now I remember. I took that request by mail. There have been times when I took a job without having met my client. The request was for the murder of one Corrida and 2 or 3 other small things. When I saw the name at the end of the letter, I thought my client to be a man. So you took this job through a letter?
He didn't mention anything about a letter in his early testimony, which means he's definitely lying. Be careful, Phoenix. If you break the assassin's testimony completely, it's over for us. I know, I can't make him suspicious, but I think we're okay, like, we can do this. As long as he's standing there across from me, no matter how strong of a punch I throw, he'll counter it. Wha-bam!
Now then, let's begin the cross-examination. Yes, now I remember. I took that request by mail.
But didn't you just say that you always meet your clients?
Yes, I suppose I did say that. However, there are some clients for whom a meeting is simply not possible.
But didn't you meet your client this time?
No, I did not.
Oh, come on! Let's stop with this game of cat and mouse.
Using your sickiest voice is not going to work on me.
Alright then, just cover up and confess.
Mr. Wright, you can't badger a witness with such harsh words.
Um,
You're a lawyer, so behave like one and present evidence instead of mindlessly yelling. Now then, do you have any proof that Mr. de Killer met with his clients?
I'll stand down. I'm sorry, Your Honor. Unfortunately, I don't have any proof.
I see. Then your line of questioning was just another waste of time.
Sadly for us, Your Honor, that is the nature of right and wrong.
There have been many times when I took a job without having met my client.
And why could you not meet certain clients?
Yeah, recently I have been receiving more requests. If I met each and every client, I would lose some nice business opportunities. Nice business opportunities? On top of which the times have changed. It is now the age of information and computers, correct? Well, I have joined the times, and now take requests via electronic mail. Electronic mail? Do you have to mail that in a special insulated envelope? I'm very sorry. I despise the shortening of words. What I meant by electronic mail is what is commonly referred to as email. Email?
In a contest of mimicry, the judge would beat a parrot hands down. Ahem. Anyway, so you took this job without having met your client, and
the request was the murder of Juan Corrida and 2 other small things.
2 or 3 other things.
Yes,
And what were these other things?
a few other things that have nothing to do with this case.
What should I do? Should I let him slide with that? It'd be really bad if I pushed his buttons the wrong way and he got mad. Sure, why not? Let's do it. Whether or not they're related to this case is for the court to decide.
Mr. Attorney,
Yes?
everything I have said from the very beginning has been nothing but beneficial to your client. Which is why I wonder what is pushing you to continue with this cross-examination. Could it be that you are planning to betray your own client?
That's...
I smell the stench of a backstabber. And should you turn out to be one,
Wait! Uh-oh. This is looking really bad. I shouldn't press my luck. Alright, I have to think. Is this worth pursuing? Yeah. Witness, this is a very important matter. Please cooperate and tell us what these other jobs your client requested were.
if it is really that important, I suppose I don't have much of a choice. The bear figurine.
The bear figurine?
After the assassination of the target, I was to find that figurine. I was told that this job was just as important as the actual killing.
And where was that figurine?
It was inside Mr. Corrida's suitcase.
And then what did you do next?
I handed it over to my client right away.
You gave it to your client. Interesting.
This information certainly sounds important to me. Witness, please include what you just stated in your testimony. As you wish. One of these was to find the bear figurine and to give it to Adrian Andrews.
I found this figurine at Mr. Ungar's mansion. If you gave it to Miss Andrews, then what was it doing there?
I was waiting for her there. That was also part of the plan to frame Mr. Angard, I'm sure. That makes a lot of sense. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any problems with this piece of testimony?
There is a contradiction. So de Killer says he gave the figurine to Miss Andrews, but I know somewhere in that statement there's a contradiction. And yet, I know that if I present something trivial here, he will cut the connection on his end. If you want to make a strong point, Phoenix, you have to present strong evidence. She's right. So now what, Dr. Wright? Witness, let's go over this one more time. You gave Miss Andrews the bear figurine, and she told you to take the bear and wait for her at Angard Mansion. Is that correct?
Yes. Where are you going with this?
Well, I think maybe you might have remembered a few things incorrectly.
What?
This is a battle of wits. I can't let up on him. I don't think it's possible for Miss Andrews to have been the recipient of this bear. Shelly de Killer, if you had really given the bear to Miss Andrews, then this item should not have been inside it.
This item?
I see where we're going. Yep, that's where I'm going.
Where is everyone going? Do I need to pack a suitcase?
Your Honor, please think back to Miss Andrews' testimony.
I was going to burn it for her sake.
If even for a single minute this bear had actually been in Miss Andrews' hands, I'm sure she would have taken the suicide note out and burned it.
Burn it down!
Order, order, order! So that's where you two were going.
So by the very fact that the suicide note was inside the bear, it tells us that your client didn't know how to disassemble the puzzle.
Which means?
It means, Your Honor, that it is impossible for Adrian Andrews to be the client.
Order, order, order! Mr. Phoenix, right? I'm sure I mentioned this before. How I hate traitors above all else. I think your cross-examination has clearly demonstrated something to me. You must wish to break your end of our agreement.
No, that's not...
That's enough. If that is your intention, there's nothing. There's only one thing for me to do.
Wait, please.
Gentlemen, ladies, please excuse me. I have a matter that I must attend to.
I said hold it. No, please. Not that. Please wait.
Mr. Attorney, bring this trial to a speedy end, or I may stay my hand. Otherwise... What in the... Mr. Wright, are you... Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, Your Honor.
I didn't understand this witness's outburst just now. Do you think there's a need to hear more testimony? Or is this enough?
Well, we should, Edgeworth, we can't do this. If we keep this up, Maya, she'll...
Prosecution, what has come over everyone? Even you are... The prosecution...
Rest.
What is going on around here?
Prosecution has no further questions, Your Honor.
What? Well, I never thought I'd see the day. This is a most unusual situation. If the prosecution rests with no further questions, then the prosecution has failed to uphold its stance. If that is the case, then, even though I am reluctant, I must believe that Mr. de Killer's testimony is accurate. That would mean that Shelly de Killer's client is... Adrian Andrews. But... Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor.
If I end the trial here, right now, then your client, Madame Guard, will be declared innocent. And in his place, Adrian Andrews would be charged with murder.
But Miss Andrews would be charged with murder?
Prosecution has no further questions, so we will now hear the defense's final remarks. Bailiff, please bring the defendant, Mr. Madame Guard, to the stand.
The items from de Killer's hideout didn't make it in time. We tried as hard as we could, but it looks like our time has run out. I can't believe it. The outcome now lies in your hands.